Welcome to Terrifying and Twisted.
Do you want a brew?
Hey up, fuckers!
Alright. How's it going?
We're back.
A bit late again. We apologise.
We're proper shit.
We're not proper shit. We have had stuff going on and we've been away with kids for a week. That's why this were late, isn't it?
And as you can tell, Carla's really poorly.
Oh, I'm full of it. So I apologise. We do a test every time before we start and I know how bad I sound.
She's not got COVID though.
No, I've not. It's just a normal cold. Bit of a chest infection, I think. So, how's everybody been? School holidays been alright?
We went away for a week, didn't we?
Yeah, we spent a week at Caravan. We dropped on really lucky with weather. It was really nice up until last day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Storms were due in. But
And we've got a new member of family.
we've got a new puppy.
Yeah.
Opie.
Opie is called. So we've got a Jackson Opie now for Sons of Anarchy fans.
Which I've just finished. Late, I know. But
what?
But I finally give it a go after nagging and I really fucking enjoyed it. Like everything else.
And I just said to her, all this tells you is you need to fucking listen to me more.
Why change habit of a lifetime, Philip? In terms of stuff we've watched, I don't think we've actually watched anything serial killery, have we?
No.
We've watched no new documentaries.
No. We're watching a thing on Amazon Prime at the minute called Cruel Summer.
Yes, we are.
That's worth a watch.
It kind of reminded me when it first started, like that first episode, it was very 13 Reasons Why sort of teenager-y.
Yeah.
But stick with it because it is worth it. But since we've finished Sons, we haven't started no new series yet, have we? We're trying to hold off.
No, we're catching up with Handmaid's Tale, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah, because we were in front for such a long time, and then we couldn't get no more streams, could we?
So that's catching up now.
I know there's 2 new dramas starting as well that we've put on Series Link.
And Premier League football's back, so I'm happy. Even though we've just got smashed
We have.
5-1.
But it's just good for it to be back in it.
Yeah. It's Saturday, August 14th, and what that will tell you is me and Carla, we don't bulk record. It's literally a few days before we record, off the cuff. There's no real editing if you haven't listened to our podcast before.
Yeah, we don't make it all dancing, singing with bells attached. It is what it is. We're sat in his bedroom, still on 2 fishing chairs.
We're even that off the cuff that we're fucking late with his episodes.
Oh, that's really bad though. It is really bad. See, I did find, when we were committed to once a week, right at the beginning, we were knocking them out, not a problem. But we were in a lockdown as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
So, we're both working.
So
kids' holidays.
They've had 3 weeks without a podcast, so let's fucking crack on.
Right.
Because they'll be bored of hearing us now.
Right, so I'm first this week. This person that I'm going to tell you about was actually sent to me by our good friend Yemi George.
Who?
You remember comment he made the other night? And I said, whoa, we haven't recorded yet.
Yeah.
And I said to you, it'll all make sense.
Yeah.
Well, just remember that comment. So this person is called Dale Cregan, and he was also nicknamed the One-Eye Cop Killer. So Dale Cregan was born on the 6th of June in 1983 to Paul and Anita Marie Kriegen. He was one of 3 siblings. Eventually, his dad left family home and he went on to marry a former policewoman. Dale went to Little Moss High School in Greater Manchester and apparently soon started selling weed, sort of dropped in with that kind of crowd. And he also developed a bit of a fetish for knives. After he'd finished school, he went and lived with his sister in Tenerife for about 18 months. And then when he returned, he decided...
And he came back to shitty England?
Yeah. I know where we'd have been.
Yeah.
When he came back, he started collecting guns. Now, it's said that he ended up owning 10 weapons, including a machine gun and hand grenades by the age of 22.
Is he collecting them because he likes collecting them, or is he collecting them because he thinks he needs them?
I don't get the picture that he was collecting them. So he wasn't doing a Whitley, and he had his knives in a nice cabinet on show and display for an interesting hobby. I think he was collecting them to...
That's a reference to Prodigal Son for people.
Yeah, that's
that
another...
don't know.
if you haven't watched that either, give that a go. No, he was collecting them to use them. So, from dealing weed, Dale then started dealing cocaine. Now, this bloke, he was claiming about £20,000 a week in profit. Drived a really nice car, had really nice holidays.
Who says crime don't pay?
Yeah. Now, one thing that gets asked a lot is, why is he called the one-eyed cop killer? So, I'm going to show you a picture of Dale Cregan. Have you ever seen him, by the way? That's your new puppy in background. So do you know the Dale Cregan case?
No.
No, so you won't have seen a picture of him. So let me show you a picture of the one-eyed cop killer.
I'm assuming he's got one eye.
Well, you'd assume right. So that's Mr. Dale Cregan.
Right.
Okay? Go have a look, everybody that's listening. Now, obviously he's only got one eye. The story behind that, it was actually carved out in a street brawl when in Thailand, and apparently got well out of hand, and Dale lost his eye. So...
Did he find it?
Fuck off. He obviously didn't have it put back in, did he? So, obviously, Dale was known to be quite a violent person. His reputation was becoming worse. Like I said, getting older, even crazier weapons. A video went round of him on social media basically throwing hand grenades against somebody's house. All these videos are on YouTube as well.
Fucking hell.
So you can imagine, he was quite well known in Manchester, and he had this really shitty reputation, and he actually had quite a few public feuds with some different families, and he was known to finish these feuds with violence and his weapons. So one man that he ended up in a feud with, basically his name was Mark Short, and Mark had got into a bit of an argument with a woman that Dale knew. Dale took that as an excuse to go finish this feud. They had a bit of an history of a feud. So in May 2012, he stormed into a pub, masked, and just opened fire, killing him. And then 10 weeks later, in August of 2012, he then killed Mark's dad, David Short. Again, masked up, chasing down David.
The fuck did he kill his dad for?
Because he was part of this family feud.
Right.
Whilst David was laying on the floor, Dale then threw grenades at him and walked away. Now,
this bloke don't give a fuck.
He really don't give a fuck. Now, the police did say that, obviously, somebody using military weapons in street doesn't happen often. So it kind of took him by surprise, but it gained massive interest.
Oh, I should think so.
Very fucking quickly. So obviously Dale was the main suspect in both murders, and then this massive manhunt started. They actually put out a £25,000 reward, this is Greater Manchester Police, to anyone that could lead to his arrest. But because his reputation was that bad...
25 grand, what enough?
25 grand was not gonna fucking get you anywhere. They actually said if anyone did give him up, they won't live long enough to spend the reward money anyway.
Right.
The police then put it up to 50,000 and still nobody helped, nobody fucking, nothing, not a sniff. So it meant that Dale won't run. But I'm laughing because he's got no patience, this guy. He soon gave up. He was bored of being on run.
Right.
So he approached a woman's house in Abbey Gardens, Greater Manchester, and he decided that he was going to set the police up. What he didn't know, though, was it would be 2 unarmed female police officers that turn up to the house. So I'm going to play you 999 call, and I want you to just listen to how calm and calculated it was.
We're expecting big things here.
I find it really fucking... it's just too calm.
Police emergency.
Someone just threw a big concrete slab through my back window and ran off.
Of the house or a car? What are we talking?
No, sorry, in my back window in the house.
In the house. What's the address there, please?
30 Abbey Gardens, Mosham.
Did you see them?
Seen one, yeah.
Do you know them?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Do you know why they've done it?
I haven't got a clue.
Okay. Is it a rear window, did you say?
Yeah, it's in the back garden.
Were you in the room where it came through, or did you hear the bang?
No, I was upstairs. I looked out the window and seen one boy running off.
Is it a kitchen window that's gone through?
Yeah, kitchen.
So it's just happened prior to your ringing, has it, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's a piece of concrete, yeah?
Yeah, it's a piece of concrete out of the corner of a paving stone.
So it's a piece of concrete paving stone, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's all one person running off, yeah?
Yeah.
Which way have they ran? What direction?
Ran there. There's a field at the back, and I've just seen them running over the field. I can point it out to the officer.
Which fields? What road is the field on? Was it off Abbey Gardens or?
Kind of, yeah, but you...
Not on the other side of Ashworth Lane?
Yeah.
So they've gone toward Broadbottom Road across the field?
No, not that. Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's weird where it is, because it's like other gardens and then a bit of a field that you can see out the window, and that's where I see him.
Is it in the general direction of Mottram Church, or the other way?
Yeah, the other way.
The other way. So they've gone onto the estate, further towards John Kennedy way?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay. Okay, was he a white male?
He had an adult mate, so I couldn't really tell you, but...
He was a male, though, yeah?
Yeah, he was a male.
You know how old he was?
No, but he was about my size, about 5'9".
Was he slim,
Medium build.
Medium. And what was he wearing then?
Black coat with a hood up, grey tracksuit bottoms.
Black hooded coat. You didn't recognise him, no?
No.
And you've no idea why it might have happened?
Off the top of my head, no. I'm trying to rip my brains now, see if I pissed anyone off, but I don't think so, no.
Okay, 07425. Was he carrying anything, this lad, other than obviously the piece of stone that he lobbed?
It didn't look like it, mate.
No, 39. You didn't see anybody else, no?
No.
Your name, please?
Adam.
What's your second name, Adam?
Gartry.
Sorry, spell that for me, please.
G-A-R.
Yeah.
E-R-W-E.
Sorry, give me that again. G-R...
G-A-R.
Yeah.
T-R-W-E.
E-R-W-E?
No, T-R-W-E.
Right.
Gartry.
Gartry, sorry. That's what it didn't look like.
Okay.
And you live at 30, do you, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. And you think it's an act of damage as opposed to somebody trying to break into the house, do you?
Possibly, yeah. I'm thinking, because if you look through the back window, I'm decorating at the minute, so there's no curtains up. If you look through the back window, you can see the plasma, so I'm wondering if they've...
So you're thinking,
where
they broke the window, is it near a handle or anything to open another window?
Quite a big window, actually, so they would have had no problem getting through.
Climbing through, okay. Sound as bad as I do.
Yeah.
Right, I'll get an officer up there, have a look round, see if they can see anybody similar, and then I'll come and see you. All right, Adam?
How long would it take? Do you know roughly? I know that it's not that serious. But...
Well, because it's just happened, it's gone in on the priority, so that's within the hour, certainly. But
okay.
They'll try and get up there as soon as, if there's a possibility he's still knocking about.
All right then, thanks very much.
Okay.
I'll be waiting.
All right, Adam.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Right, so...
Is very, very calm. Even, like, laughing and joking with...
Operator.
I'll
be fucking waiting.
It seemed to fucking go on for ages.
Yeah. But can you...
And he's maintained his level of calmness.
Yeah.
But obviously I don't know what's to come.
Right. So I'll go on to the next part. Before we discuss that phone call, I'll go on to the next part. So, when 2 police officers arrived, unarmed, because they thought it were a routine call, someone had smashed a window.
And I was thinking, as the phone call was going on, surely when he gives them his name, they're going to think, hang on.
You're
wanted.
He
didn't give him a
Didn't use his name, no. So, yep, these 2 female officers arrive unarmed. Dale Cregan didn't say a fucking word, opened front door and opened fire. He fired 32 rounds in 31 seconds from a Glock pistol, killing both of them.
That's no fucking about that. That's just fucking
then
open fire until...
Then, as he walked and stepped over them on the floor, he threw an M75 hand grenade on top of them.
He fucking loves his grenades, doesn't he?
He fucking does. And calm as anything, got into a car, drove himself straight to a police station and handed himself in.
Why did them 2 police officers have to fucking die?
He said he was sick of being hunted, so he needed to teach them a lesson.
Right.
So, on YouTube, you can watch the CCTV footage of him pulling up at the police station, getting out of the car, walking to the main desk, and handing himself in. And you can see just how fucking calm he was.
Yeah, I'll be watching them.
So, on the 13th of June 2013, Dale Cregan was sentenced to life imprisonment with a whole life order. So basically he will spend the rest of his life in prison.
Good. For
the 4 murders. He admitted killing PC Fiona Bone and PC Nicola Hughes, father and son David and Mark Short. Dale actually said in an interview he had done 2 coppers in because they were hounding his family. His only regret was the fact it were 2 women and not men. Don't fucking make any difference. And it basically was the first case in Britain where hand grenades were used as weapons.
Yeah.
And also, this gentleman, if you can call him that, because of his reputation, because of his gang affiliation, this gentleman had over 100 police car escort to and from court for every day of his trial.
Fucking hell.
It was a massive.
So where is he?
What, Dale Cregan now?
Yeah.
So Dale Cregan, he got sent to a mental institute, how they called? Facility. So he was taken there for a little bit, but he got sent back to another prison because he moved from a category A. And I remember... so he basically was moved to a psychiatric hospital, but when he were there, he was bragging about how much he had a cushy life. And that hospital was Ashworth Hospital in Merseyside.
Right.
But he's now been moved to the maximum security category A, full Sutton prison.
Right, so that's where he is.
Yeah.
That's where he is now.
Yeah, category A. He then went obviously to the psychiatric unit, and then he got moved back. So that's where Dale Cregan currently is.
Right.
Not a very long one. Not a very, there's no psychiatric agenda behind it. There's no trauma from childhood. There's no
background on him.
Just the little bits and bats that there were. He was just a fucking gang wannabe member that
I don't think he were a wannabe, to be fair.
Well, no, he certainly wasn't a wannabe. But now does it make sense what Yemi's comment was?
What did he say?
He said he removed his eye.
Oh, the fucking dead bastard.
He says he tried overtaking him. He didn't know his place.
I just wanted to add on to end your case.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, what's happened this week.
Oh, yeah. Such horrific scenes in Plymouth. Were it Plymouth?
Plymouth, yeah.
Awful.
There's been a spree shooting in Plymouth, which has included the death of a 5-year-old girl, I believe.
Either 3 or 5.
Either 3 or 5.
And a dad.
But we'll have more details on that for next episode. But it's just really a spree killing, and then he's turned gun on himself, so no one gets any answers.
That's what I was saying last night. There's literally nothing, is there? There's no reasoning behind it. Not saying that it makes it better, but I think as a person, if your family has been affected.
Well, this young girl, we're out walking a dog.
Walking a dog with a mum, yeah, I know. Just horrific.
Fucking awful.
So yeah, absolutely awful. Awful things.
Right, so my case this week is about a male, Byron David Smith. So, Byron David Smith lives in Little Falls, Minnesota. The date of the event in question is Thanksgiving Day 2012, which drops on Thursday the 22nd of November. It involves an 18-year-old girl called Haley Kiefer and a 17-year-old boy called Nicholas Brady, and these two were cousins.
Right. And
basically what happened is Haley and Nicholas broke into the home of Byron David Smith, 65 years old. Now, a bit of background on Byron David Smith. He was retired from the US State Department, never married, lived alone. His brother described him as a security engineering officer.
Okay.
That makes bit of a loner. So prior to this event, Byron David Smith had claimed that he'd been burgled at least 6 times in a few months. Stolen from his house were thousands of dollars in cash. His father's prisoner of war, I think it might have been a prisoner of war watch from World War II, a family heirloom, somewhat really personal. A coin collection, his medals from Vietnam because he previously served, and a chainsaw. So his house had been broken into a few times.
Items have
been stolen. Byron David Smith also claimed that Haley and Nick had broken 2 times before.
So he knew them.
He'd only reported 1. Byron, I'll say instead of Byron David Smith because it's pissing me off. He began routinely wearing a holster with a loaded gun. So obviously he were getting fucking annoyed.
He was getting annoyed. Someone's coming back, breaking in over and over again.
He installed a security system, obviously protecting himself. So, on November 2012, 22nd, Haley and Nick break into Byron's home again. What they didn't know this time is Byron David Smith was waiting for them.
Okay.
It's said that previously to Haley and Nick coming to break into his house, that Byron had moved his car from his drive to appear that he wasn't...
That he were out.
That he were out. So, what Haley and Nick didn't know, that he was sat in his basement, armed.
With his gun.
Yeah. He'd heard people walking about outside his residence, and then he heard the shattering of glass on the main level. Smith told investigators they'd then heard footsteps in the main hallway. Someone had obviously entered his home. And a few minutes later, someone started coming down the stairs to the basement.
Okay.
So, armed with a .223 rifle, I have no fucking idea what that means. He shot the intruder as he's coming down the stairs. This intruder is 17-year-old Nick. So Nick falls down the stairs and Smith shoots him twice while he's on the stairs and once in the face at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
He then progresses to wrap Nick's body in a tarp and drags him into another room.
Right, so this has gone past I'm protecting my fucking property. I understand he's pissed off, right? And that he's probably sick to death of him breaking into his house. But...
So, he shoots this kid.
Yep.
Because he's protecting his property. From his point of view. Please don't die on us, Carla, on the podcast. Because there's no way we could put it out then.
You wouldn't fucking have
I
a
wouldn't
clue
know
what to
fucking
do.
how to know. So he don't phone police.
No.
He drags Nick's body into another room, wraps it in a tarp. A few minutes later, he hears an additional set of footsteps coming down the stairs. This, of course, is Haley.
Yep.
So he told investigators that he waited to see the female's hips, and then he opened fire. 18-year-old Haley fell down steps, and he attempts to fire at her again, but his rifle jams.
Okay.
And Smith says that he shot her, and when his rifle jams, she laughs at him. So Smith says, quote, "If you're trying to shoot somebody and they laugh at you, you go again," unquote. So he gets a .22 revolver and shoots her in the chest several times, but somehow she's still alive. So what Smith does, he gets his handgun, places it under her chin, and fires.
hell.
So then Smith waits till the next day to call the police, saying he didn't want to bother law enforcement on Thanksgiving.
How fucking courteous of him.
Right, so police were told the two teens were killed because they tried to rob his house. Now, what's interesting is all of these events are recorded because I said he'd set up CCTV.
Yeah.
Not only is it set up CCTV, it plays audio and video.
You're right.
And the recording of Haley is played, and she ain't laughing, she's screaming.
Okay.
Now, what's also really interesting about this case is you can listen to that on YouTube.
Oh,
And I listened to it, and it's pretty fucked up.
I'll have to have a listen.
So Smith says that, quote, he fired a good clean finish, unquote. So the whole investigation debate is castle doctrine is a common law in America where individuals have the right to use reasonable force, including deadly force, to protect themselves against an intruder in
Fuck
their
off.
home.
I totally understand that, but he hasn't fucking done that. He's gone way past the fucking point
Just a bit.
of protecting his own.
So, legal analysts have stated that initial shootings most likely would have been justified under Minnesota's castle law, but the subsequent shots were not justified once any threat had been removed.
Yeah.
So obviously he shot him, the threat was removed, but then...
He continued.
Yeah.
And not only did he continue, but he then took the bodies to tarp and wrapped them up, and then didn't ring police for an extra day because he didn't want to bother him.
A gentleman called Professor Joseph Olson from the University School of Law says, quote, "I think the first shot is justified. After the person is no longer a threat because they're seriously wounded, the application of self-defence is over," unquote. So a number of aspects of the case were noted by police as being inconsistent with self-defence. So Smith previously moved his truck earlier in the day. He claimed it was in order to clean his garage. Prosecutors argued at his trial that it was an attempt to make the house look abandoned in order to lure burglars into his home. So in addition to his house surveillance system, Smith also recorded at least 6 hours of audio on a digital recorder in the basement of his residence. He was sitting in a chair at the bottom of the stairs with a loaded rifle and a tape recorder that captured not only the shootings of Nick and Haley, but also a monologue by Smith. Prior to the break-in, he's heard saying, quote, "in your left eye," and, quote, "I realise I don't have an appointment, but I would like to see one of the lawyers here," unquote. Strange. So the prosecution noted that Haley Kiefer was later shot in the left eye by Smith.
Right.
And alleged that the other statement is a rehearsal of what he would say after the shooting.
So it's getting him on premeditation,
An indication he knew he would soon need a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Following the shootings, Smith captured a number of statements, including, quote, "I'm not a bleeding heart liberal. I feel like I was cleaning up a mess. Not like spilled food, not like vomit, not even like diarrhea. The worst possible mess. and I was stuck with it in some tiny little respect. I was doing my civic duty. If the law enforcement system couldn't handle it, I had to do it. So, Smith was initially charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. However, in April 2013, he was indicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder. His bail was set at $50,000, which Smith posted. There's kids are shouting in the background.
Sadtron, I think.
So, on April 29, 2014, Byron David Smith was found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder with premeditation, and on 2 counts of second-degree murder after 3 hours of jury deliberations. He was immediately sentenced to life in prison without parole. The audio recordings you can also access through YouTube.
Alright.
The audio recordings were named by the jurors as the biggest influence on their decision.
Well, it's gonna be, but can I ask, at no point did they try to argue any sort of mental health on this? I find it really bizarre that 65-year-old, did you say?
Yeah.
So he's got to 65-year-old. It makes no sense that he'd just randomly start killing people.
He'd had enough.
I think he'd had enough. But from what you've... Obviously, I've not listened to recordings. I'm going to listen to him.
And this bloke served in Vietnam.
He served in Vietnam and stuff.
Yeah. So that's the case of Byron David Smith. But what's really interesting is, at the time that I decided to do this, it reminded me of a film that we've watched.
Right.
Don't Breathe.
Yes.
Which is obviously a film about 2 people who break into a gentleman's house who's blind. And if you haven't watched it, watch it because it's a really good film.
Yeah.
Ironically, it were on this week.
You've recorded it, haven't you?
So I've recorded it. And also, trailers have started coming for Don't Breathe 2.
Oh, have it?
So this case kind of reminded me of Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
And obviously it's really interesting because he's defended his property but he's took it too far.
Yeah. And I don't think that it's a matter of took it too far because he's pissed off. I think from what you've said about these recordings, there's something else a bit that's going on. I don't know.
When I listened to this recording, I was sat next to you and I had my full headphones on.
I remember you saying, you said, I've just listened to something. I've just listened to somebody getting murdered and fuck me, is what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So
I'll listen to it.
Check out the videos on YouTube because I'm going to check out the videos on...
I'll have Dale Cregan throwing his hand fucking grenades everywhere.
The one-eyed fucking...
Cop.
Cockhead.
He is a cockhead.
So, short and sweet, I think that was.
I know it is a short and sweet. We'll be back on track.
We promise. Pinky fucking promise.
I think it's justified though. I think it's justified. It just makes us look shit, doesn't it?
We still love you all.
We do. And we still really enjoy doing it. It's not because we're not...
We've had us number 1 fan on us back, Charmaine.
Yeah, we have, haven't she? She's like sending us messages like we're ticking clocks. Hurry up. So
I hope you enjoy it.
We'll see you next week.
Definitely see you in 2.
Bye for now.
Bye.